Welcome back to the Stovetop. As some of you may know, I hang out with different people on YouTube from time to time. I will take road trips or that sort of thing and do collaboration videos with some of my friends on YouTube, or we'll get together and meet for something. Maybe there'll be an event that we'll all meet up at, or maybe it's something as simple as just dropping by when I'm passing through town. And some of my friends and I will trade different things from where we live with each other. Things that maybe aren't readily available. Either they can't be mail ordered, or the things that they offer online aren't exactly the same things that you can find in the store, the shop locally, or that sort of thing. Sometimes it's a, hey, I don't know what this tastes like, but I thought you might like it based on the kinds of videos you do and the things you talk about. Or it could be, hey, I've had this for years and I think you'll like it too, that sort of thing. I usually will bring different wines or whiskeys or things like that from Michigan. Even though I'm not from here, I live here, and I will bring some of those things with me out of state to give to some of my YouTube friends. And sometimes they reciprocate, and it's appreciated because it gives me an opportunity to try out something that I would have never known about otherwise. So what I have on the stovetop is a bottle of Cooper's Chase Bourbon. This is an American whiskey that is 80 proof or 40% alcohol by volume. It is made by Johnnie Byrd Brewing Company out of Wayne, Nebraska, and it is distilled with Nebraska grain. I mean, why not? They've got a lot of it there, right? This was given to me by one of my YouTube friends, Travis P11. I'll include a link to both of his channels at the end of this video. Travis knows I like bourbon, and he thought I might like this. So I'm going to try it out here for the first time on Cocktails with Squib. So describing the bottle, there is a seal on the top that's kind of maroon in color, and it has a gold colored, I guess, cattle head with horns on the top there. The label on the front is kind of a light tan beige on the background, and all the lettering is kind of black and kind of gold or copper colored, really. And it says Cooper's Chase Bourbon with the cow's head with the horns there. And really everything it says here is everything I read on my notes here off to the side in the description. On the back, there's a little bit more information. It says handcrafted in Nebraska. So I'll go ahead and break the seal. There's a little tab for me to peel. And there is a black plastic twist-off cap. A little dark in color. I've just poured it in a rocks glass. The smell isn't too strong, but it doesn't smell too good. I'm not saying it doesn't smell at all like bourbon, but it does smell a little bit more like actually it kind of reminds me a little of tequila with that smell. That's actually really light. The smell and the taste kind of don't go together. All right, I'm getting a little bit of that on the back end. The aftertaste is kind of that really kind of strong. I mean, tequila probably isn't the right word, but there's a certain smell that tequila has, and a certain kind of taste it has, especially if it's not a really expensive tequila, that just doesn't appeal to me. But on the front end and in the middle there, it's smooth. It doesn't burn going down. Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. It's the aftertaste that I don't really care for, but I guess maybe that Nebraska grain is really potent, right? Otherwise, though, this isn't bad. Now, it says on the label, bourbon, American whiskey, which American whiskey is kind of something different. That's kind of a blended thing, but it says American whiskey in small batches. So I'm wondering if with different bottles of this, there might be a slight variation in taste. So It's not really that strong. 80 proof, 40% alcohol by volume is kind of your standard. I mean, some of the whiskeys that are higher in alcohol content are really strong, but I really do like them. It's an acquired taste because it took a while for me to get to where something that, say, was like 94 proof was somewhat palatable. This almost kind of has that kick to it, like something that's stronger without actually being above 80 proof. So maybe because it's in small batches too, it could be a little bit more, a little bit less per bottle. I don't know. I'm kind of guessing at that, but overall, yeah, it's not too bad. It just kind of tastes stronger than what it might be. Now, I don't know how this would be in a cocktail, but that could change everything up altogether because I actually did a video where I bought some really cheap whiskey, and I'm not saying this is cheap whiskey at all, but I bought some really cheap whiskey and made some different cocktails with them to see if I could doctor them up a little bit to make them taste a little bit better. And I had so-so results, but that's just it. If you're used to having your whiskey in a cocktail as opposed to having it straight like I'm doing, it's going to taste a little bit different. I mean, something as simple as just making a highball, cutting this with some sort of carbonated beverage, something as simple as club soda. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and add some club soda. All right, so it's in a rocks glass, not a highball glass, which would be tall. And I'm just using some chilled store brand club soda. It's just carbonated water. There's no calories in it or any sugar or anything else like that. So that's probably about an ounce, maybe an ounce and a half of whiskey. I'm just going to go ahead and top it with this chilled club soda. You can see it kind of thins it out. Now let's try it like this. Okay, the club soda dilutes it enough that it masks the smell. That's a little bit too much club soda. All right, I'm back with a tall glass from Nebraska. You can see on this glass a locomotive. It says Big Boy underneath. This is the Union Pacific Big Boy locomotive. This was the largest steam locomotive ever created, and it was operated by the Union Pacific Railroad. I purchased this glass at Union Pacific's Golden Spike Tower gift shop at their Bailey Yard location in North Platte, Nebraska. The tower has, I think, 8 levels, different observation decks that you can go up to, and you can watch the work going on at the rail yard, which is enormous. And on the first level, they've got a gift shop. So this will do for a tall glass. I've got my jigger to measure out bourbon. So I'm going to go with 3 ounces, which for some people might seem to be a little bit strong, but I found that with some of the cocktails I've been experimenting with when doing these videos, for a tall glass, 3 ounces works out really well. So I'll go ahead and top it with chilled club soda. Now, I could put ice in here if I wanted to, especially if I didn't have any club soda already chilled, or I could use something else like Dr. Pepper. I won't go all the way to the top there because I can see it's kind of thinning out the color. Of course, it's going to do that some, but I could use something like Pepsi or Dr. Pepper or something like that in a highball. Okay, that's a little bit better. I measured some proportions and I didn't dilute it too much. Now I've got to do something with all of this bourbon. I guess I'll drink it because I don't want to see it go to waste. Oh, damn. I hope you guys understand the sacrifices that I make in order to do these videos, the sacrifices of a YouTuber. So my final thoughts about Cooper's Chase Bourbon. Well, I'd like to thank Travis P11 because when I was over there for Thunder on the Prairie this year, he sent me home with this bottle and said, try it out. Let me know what you think of it. And this is something that I wouldn't see on the local party store shelf. I wouldn't know about it if it weren't for him, and I like to try out new things, things from other places, things that I wouldn't ordinarily know about. This is definitely that. As far as what I've been able to determine in this video, I wouldn't recommend this standalone. It just doesn't do anything for me like that. But in a mixer, this might do really well. Unfortunately, the only thing I've had to mix it with is some chilled club soda. I really wasn't prepared to make some cocktails with this, but maybe in the future I'll do another video with it where I mix it with something else and tell you what I think of it. Thanks for watching.